Hello, this is Flat Fixing 101. We're gonna do a really quick taking the tire off, putting the tube in, something that's gonna hopefully help you if you're stuck on the road. For a much more detailed explanation of flats, how to avoid them, how to fix them, starting on the bike, then look up Flat Fixing 201, which we'll have out soon. So, here we've got a tire we've already taken off the bike. And I'm taking the valve cap and the nut off of the stem. Whenever you have a flat, it's going to be a lot easier to change the tube if you let out all of the air first. If there's air in it, you're going to have a hard time getting it off the rim. So I'm going to flatten this thing out, even sit on it maybe. Press all the air out of it. And then the next real helpful trick, and this is the same whether you're talking mountain bikes, road bikes, gravel bikes, is to pinch the bead of the tire, which is inside the rim. Pinch that together all the way around, because this reduces the pressure on the bead, gives you some slack, so you can actually get the tire lever in there and work it off. So when you're pulling up like that, as you're doing that, you should get to the point where you can see the bead of the tire right there. And then a nice plastic tire lever. Please don't use a screwdriver. Stick that in there and slide it sideways. Like that, and all the way around, and then you got the bead of the tire off. That's the hardest part. And then starting at the valve, you push the valve up, pull it out, pull the tube out, just like that. And if you were on the side of the road, we'll go into this more in 201, but it is a really good idea to just take a look at the tire and run your fingers inside carefully. Make sure there's not a thorn or something that's going to give you another immediate flat, because that's not going to help you at all. So once you've done that, you can put that down. You're going to pull your tube out of your flat repair bag somewhere on your bike and open it up and get some air in it. You can either use your pump, your CO2, or you can literally, just to get a little volume in it, you can literally blow on it. Get some air into it. It's gonna make it a lot easier to get the tube in there. And it's also gonna help you prevent from pinching it as you're putting it on. Because when it's super flat, like you pull it out of the box, it's hard to get in there all the way around. So we're putting our new tube in now. So we're starting back at the valve, pull this sideways, push the tube in there with the valve. If you want, you can take your little nut if you have it. Definitely not necessary, but you can just stick it on there a little ways, not too far, to make sure that you don't pull that out as you're getting the rest of the tube in there. So we're just stuffing the tube up into the tire all the way around. This is the part that's a lot easier with a little volume in there, a little air in the tube. So, and then squish it up like that so it's on the rim. And then next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the valve, I'm gonna pop the bead back into the rim. And then two hands working your way around and pop it on all the way around like that. So now you've got the bead back on the rim. It's just like when you started, other than the whole thing is flat. So, and the last thing, once you got that, you want to push up the valve stem once. What that does is make sure you don't have the bead of the tire on the tube itself, which then when you inflated it, it would actually push it off. Like this, it would push it up and off, and then you'd have a blowout. So just push that up to make sure it's inside the tire and not underneath the tire. And then we're going to pump it up. So pretend this is a CO2 here. So, and I just pumped it up a little bit. If you're on your CO2, that would be like a quarter to a third of your CO2 in there. And so it's still pretty much flat. So what I'm doing is looking at the bead of the tire all the way around to make sure it's on the rim. If it's starting to pop off somewhere, if it's not even, if you can't see this little line all the way around, then you want to deflate it, fix the tire on the rim before you go all the way. Because if you pump it up all the way and the tire's not on there, the tube's gonna come out and pop on you. Sometimes really loud and scare you. So this looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and use our CO2 and pump it all the way up. It's okay to hear that little pop that we just heard. That's actually the bead seating in the rim. In a future one, when we're talking about tubeless, that's actually the noise you're waiting to hear. So there we go. CO2 filled it up. We can throw it back on the bike and away we go. Thanks, and check out the next one.